What's going on, family? Boy, you can't rely on technology for nothing. You really can't. We're gonna get this worked out. Hey, welcome. It's a little after 11 p.m. East Coast time. My name is Brew. This is the Badger. We got a good show for you. You don't want to be anywhere else but right here. What's going on, bro?
Well, bro, you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. We got a terrific, fantastic, extra spendipulous. That's
Wow.
my Don King version.
Okay.
Show yesterday, man. So I'm ready to get started on this therapy, man. I don't feel real good. I'm gonna bring the heat. Let's get to what we got.
So what happened in training this evening?
No training today, bro. Today
Okay.
was yeah. I had to go get my fill of my super soldier serum. So no training today, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I asked you if you would bring some of that to me because I really need it, bro. I don't think you might have thought I was joking, but
I I I'll see what I can do, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Look out for a brother bad. Come on, dog. Look out for a brother bad.
We got to. We all we got. So I got you.
Wow, go ahead, Murphy Lee. We all we got. That's the truth, though.
That boy went back. Then I had completely forgot about it till you just said it. And I can see the video because you just said it. These kids ain't gonna know shit, man.
Nothing.
These kids
Nothing.
ain't gonna know nothing, man.
It is what it is. I came up with a time where all we had was music, and you had to know it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that
So
was your social currency.
that's pretty much what it is, bro. That's
Yeah,
pretty much what it is. I'm glad you called it like that because that's truly what it was.
yeah.
So, listen, it's gonna be a good show. I gotta, I'm looking at a bunch of different stuff during the day, right?
Okay.
Um, darn. Okay. All right. Stuff just popping up, and I'm like, I don't need it to pop up right now. Okay. So I thought about waiting until we really get into the show, and then bringing this up, and oh, it's Brue, not Bree. What's going on, Miss
Yeah,
Karen?
that's the cheese, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm the head cheese.
There
Yeah,
you go.
and not head cheese. Just never mind. They can go so
You
wrong
got
with
it.
so many
Yeah,
ways.
man. Listen, we
All right.
can't. Yeah, bro. We had enough of that last night, man. Don't start the day off with this, man. Damn.
Thanks, Miss Karen. She is a beautiful person. You when you meet people, it's rare you meet people who are beautiful inside and outside, and that's just her. We actually were in a play together. I was directing and producing Raising in the Sun, um, when I was at USF in '97 right before I graduated, and she came out and after I did my curtain speech, she did some of her poetry, and it made it a full beautiful experience. She's so talented and she's a writer now. So yeah, I give her a shout out because look, she like my sister,
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing at all.
and pretty
Appreciate
soon,
you tuning in, Miss Karen.
definitely, pretty soon she'll be selling one of her scripts to a television network. I already know it. She's already been in several contests. Very talented young lady. Um, but I was gonna save this story for later, and it's a true story, and it sounds like something right out of Highlands County or Polk County or Hernando County. It does. I I swear it's and it's close because the guy's from I think Mississippi. So very similar. Very
Okay.
similar.
Okay.
It just sounds like Meanwhile in Florida. That's what. So I'm gonna put it up here. I was gonna wait. I really was gonna wait and do it later, but let's get this thing started off right. All right. So a 27-year-old Jackson, Mississippi man was arrested over the weekend for hacking into the Hinds County Human Services Department, the HDMS, and approving all applications for food stamps. After approving the applications, he then had cards mailed out to new applicants, all totaling $2,500 each. Current card holders were also rewarded $2,500 in credits. His bond was set at $100,000 and has since bonded out. More on the story tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox News. You know what? My brother, and they even put his name up here, Mr. Eric Brown Jr., I give you the turnover chain because you made the difference. You made the difference in your community. Now, some people going to say that's wrong, that's a crime, but some people also say it's a crime what they're doing to folks. So, you'll get the turnover chain, my friend. The Got Brew turnover chain. Your swag tag. You've earned it, my friend.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm down with everything EB doing. You know they call him a junior, call him E or EB.
Yeah.
You know he got a couple nicknames. Listen, I'm down for all that. Shots out to Eric Brown Jr. and his daddy, Eric Brown Sr. for making a beautiful human being. Listen, give it to your people, man. And I'm sure he gave indiscriminately. And for all those in Jackson that got a problem with it, kick rocks. This is a valiant effort, and this was a good deed done by Eric Brown Jr. And listen, apparently the brother got some skills. You need to hire him and put him on your anti-hacking task force. Right. I'm sorry, maybe I'm old. They don't use the word hacking anymore. Whatever the term is for infiltrating websites.
They said hacking in the article. So.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever cyber crimes you want somebody to help you try to figure out how to block those and can think like a criminal, ask Mr. Brown. He's apparently very good at it. And Hinds County, the state of Mississippi, can probably use him. Give him a job.
Hey, I look like they might have beaten him up a little bit because his mouth a little crooked in the photo. So
man, ain't nobody touching Eric. Believe that. Yeah.
He looked like
he's a celebrity when he get in there.
He got to get to the jail first.
Well, that's true. That is true now. That is true. But when he get there, it's all love. Believe that.
He gonna get everybody's cheese sandwich. Bro, you hooked my sister up and my other sister and my baby mama and my other baby mama. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you here. And he bonded out already.
It wasn't but 10 racks. He probably got that in GoFundMe. Like as soon as they find he got arrested. Oh, we gonna get him out. I'm happy for my dog, man.
Me too. I mean, it's wrong. I don't tell anybody to go perpetrate a crime, but that was tight right there. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of tight.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about none of that.
Kind of tight. I ain't gonna lie.
For real. Get them because they always getting you. Believe that.
Oh my goodness. Listen, don't get sucked into it. Don't get sucked into it, people. Do it the legal way, or at least do it the smart way. He got caught.
Hey, listen. Nothing in this country got ain't none of the industries in this country have been legal. So again, get them before they get you.
All right.
If you can. Now don't be stupid now, but if you can get them, get them.
Howdy y'all. Nice hat. I wonder who that is.
Hey, shouts out to Pops, man, for checking in with us today. So listen, man, while we getting our way through this show. Word on the street is, man, J-Rock, that would be Julian Williams, the former 154-pound unified champ, is divorcing his head trainer, Stephen Breadman Edwards. Yes, Breadman is no longer training J-Rock. I just found out about this. I think I heard about it yesterday, but I think it was kind of confirmed today. They just not going to work together anymore, and that's just so strange. I always figured that would be a dynamic duo that would always stay together. Kind of like Brother Nazim and B Hop, they had that Philly connection. And I just thought he would have stayed. I thought they would have just stayed together. And I think Breadman is not only a tremendous trainer, but he's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to boxing knowledge. I follow the brother on Twitter, and he's always giving game and just. I've even researched fighters that I've seen him talk about on his platform because the guys never heard of before, and it's always a pleasant surprise, but. Yeah, I didn't see this relationship ending. I don't know how well it's going to work out for J-Rock.
Well, I kind of liken this to an example of why sometimes things just don't work. Mike Shanahan. Remember when you probably way too young to remember when Mike Shanahan first got hired by the Raiders. He was the youngest NFL coach in history. He had a playbook that was he had 99 plays. And back then that was unheard of to have that many different plays in a playbook. Mike Shanahan just didn't work for the Raiders. But then with the Broncos, they got 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, back to back.
Pete Carroll got let go by the Patriots. Said he was too friendly with the guys.
Remember that.
The USC. I mean, there was some illegal activity, but Pete Carroll had how many, rings, championships. And he goes to Seattle. Because back into the NFL, it just some things are fits. Some things, sometimes like shoes, they wear the tread out, or for some reason your foot grows or flattens out, and it just doesn't fit anymore. Doesn't mean the shoe's no good because your foot flattens out. I was gonna give an example, but I won't put a business out there. Lady I knew when she got pregnant, her foot flattened out and it went from a 10.5 to a 12. Crazy, but that was an example of sometimes just things change. Doesn't mean the shoe's bad, just doesn't fit you anymore.
I mean, yeah, and if I'm, bred, man, I definitely don't want to get pregnant. If I'm J Rock, I don't want to get pregnant because I don't need my shoe size growing by 2 sizes because my feet flattened out because I'm big.
What?
But listen to this, man.
No, you can't
I'm in
skip
agreement.
over that.
I'm in agreement with you how some things need to change, but this is the problem. J Rock is at this point in his career where maybe he knows enough. Maybe he knows how to be the pro and going that can kind of get himself ready for fights. I don't know if a fighter ever gets to that point, to be completely honest with you. Maybe they do. Maybe it takes a different level of discipline, a different type of person. I don't know.
Mike Perry.
But I don't know how this is going to end for J Rock, because this is where his career has to make a turn. Right? When his first loss to Jamal Charlo was his first loss. Now he's lost twice and he had both belts. I'd imagine it's not going to be a very easy road, especially in that division, to get those belts back. I'm just wondering who he goes to now for advice. I mean, Brother Nassim is gone. He's no longer with us. You're not with Breadman anymore. Where does he go from here? Who he decides to get to be his trainer? I'm just confused as to how any of this works. And those guys had such a great relationship. I mean, they talked about, J-Rock just gushes about how Breadman is like a big brother, like uncle to him. He's taught him so much outside of the ring. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out for J-Rock, man. I don't know. Breadman has a bright future. He can get any fighter he wants, or he can get into commentating. So he's going to be good. But for J-Rock, I just want to see how this story ends. It's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. Very interesting. And to see who he tries to slide in with. Be interesting if he came to South Florida and tried to get him with Kevin Kelly. Or Cunningham, rather. Kevin Cunningham.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing, but Cunningham tends to be a southpaw specialist, but I'm sure he can work wonders with whoever. Don't know if he'd come down here because, Lubin, that's Lubin's gym, and I don't know. They'd eventually meet at some point, I would imagine. So I don't know how that will work out, but yeah, it's an open issue, and we'll be staying tuned and locked in to see how that ends, man. It's interesting.
Definitely. That is a weird situation though, where you just bounce on your trainer.
Especially one that's done been with you for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Yeah, well, you probably shouldn't have put that on the big screen.
But I didn't put her name out there. I did not talk about the friend that I have. So I would not do that, Miss Karen. I wouldn't put the name of the person out there. So that's not me.
Oh, man. Anyway, so
I got in trouble already.
Yeah, you did. So
I got in trouble already. So
your boy Nick Diaz.
Oh Lord.
He's coming back, right? He's already put his name out there. They're gonna try to get him a date.
Just
your boy
like
Chael's
Cerrone.
Your boy Chael's son, and well, Cowboy need to take a long hiatus like Nick did, and maybe we'll be a little more forgiving of him when he comes back.
Doubt it.
But your boy Chael's son threw a particular opponent out there for Nick Diaz, Mike Perry, to welcome him back into the 170 pound division. I don't know if Nick Diaz is ready for that, only because if he's anything like his brother, that means he's going to be blocking a lot of punches with his face. He's going to try to turn this into a ground game. Mike Perry is the wrong person to be an octagon with if you can't move your head and got to wear right hands. So, as bad as I want to see Nick Diaz back in the octagon because he's been gone since, I don't know, forever. I don't know if Mike Perry's the right opponent. Now, it hasn't been set in stone. Ain't no date, nothing like that. That's what they're throwing out there. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I want to see it. I want to see it. You got Mike Perry, who's trained by his girlfriend, who he told literally, just bring my water bucket in and be quiet. That's what he said. Bring my water and my bucket.
You told her to be quiet?
Yes. Sit down and be quiet. That's what he said in one of the interviews. Okay,
Okay.
but then he says she's the greatest woman ever. But that's what he said. Anyway, I want to see. I'd like to see that somebody who gets themselves ready for a fight, and I'd love to see him go after Nick Diaz in his face defense. I'd love to see it. I would look Carnage.
Yeah, I mean it'll definitely feed the bloodlust. I mean, because he gonna get it. I mean that's gonna get bloody quick. Um,
And
I, I,
quick, fast in a hurry.
yeah, I like that fight for Mike Perry because I don't think Mike Perry. I think Mike Perry might be at his ceiling.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, at this
yeah.
point for Mike, it's about winning the fights you're supposed to win, and the fights that you're not supposed to win, making them very competitive.
Mike's
I
about
don't know.
knocking off Journeyman at this point. That's where Mike is.
Well, Mike is a gatekeeper, I think, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful. I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Mike Perry can be elite
Listen, I think
in that weight class.
I think you were being too respectful when you said he's a gatekeeper. He's somebody who's an attraction, like a Mike. I know you're gonna get upset with this, but a circus freak. He's somebody you put on the bill, and people are like, oh shoot, what's he gonna do? He can't carry a card, but people will definitely tune in to watch him if he's on the undercard or if he's not. I wouldn't even say a co-main, but if he's on the main card, they'll tune in to watch him. But I don't ever see him carrying a card, even on a fight night.
Well, he wouldn't have to carry this one. Nick Diaz would actually carry this card, so it'd be okay. I like the matchup stylistically. I don't know if I like it if I'm Nick Diaz, but um, hey, if he can get him on the ground, then I think that fight ends rather quickly. But again, it comes down to a lot of ifs and fifths and buts and all that. I don't know about any of that. We got to see this fight happen. I think this is a good fight for Mike Perry, not so good for Nick Diaz. But hey, when you've been out on hiatus for how many years he's been gone, hey, we're gonna welcome you back with a nice punch in the face. I'm with it.
Yes, take this with you. Thanks for coming. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So back to boxing. So our boy Keith, one time, once upon a time, sometimes
Never land Thurman. Yeah.
bore his heart out to the internet today.
Okay.
Yeah, and he talked about how his lack of commitment and his weight issues have been on him for the past couple of years. He talked about being 35 pounds overweight in between fights, coming into one fight being 182 pounds coming into camp.
I just don't see it. I don't see it because he always appears to be in shape.
No, he doesn't. Whenever you see him broadcasting fights, he's fat as hell. He is fat.
I have never heard you say that. You've even
Yes.
said he stays in shape. So I've never heard you say that until today.
No, he doesn't stay in shape in between fights. He hasn't been like the last. I was at the last 2 or 3 fights. But again, a lot has been injury plagued stuff too. Now prior to that, with the Danny Garcia and the Sean Porter fights and the Leonard Bundles, yes, he looked like he was staying in shape. But once he got them 2 straps and he got injured, he was always looking big. Even on the PBC rollout they did 2 years ago when they were all in the suits on the stage and they were kind of doing their whole thing when they were announcing the championship fights for the following year, people were making comments about how big he was then. And this is when he still had both belts before he, released one belt.
Yeah.
So I hope he can get it together, man. I don't know. When I hear things like that, it speaks of the lack of not only discipline, but I want to say this word, and I want to use it loosely. Commitment.
Well, he just said he had a lack of commitment.
Yeah, you're not. But here's the thing. You're not gonna get any better, and I think that's the problem that we're seeing with Thurman. Thurman is in his. If he was in a prime, it would be right now. But the last 2 or 3 years, he's been so injury riddled that I don't see Thurman getting any better. Can he be smarter? Can he be in better shape? Yeah. Is he gonna develop new skills? No. He is who he is as a fighter. But maybe being more in tune and keeping that weight down and staying in better shape throughout the year will help him in more fights. That Manny Pacquiao fight was utterly disappointing. It really was. That was a fight he shouldn't have lost, and he did. He lost that fight. So I don't know what the future holds for him. He was saying that Kell Brook has mentioned his name. Mikey Garcia could be a potential opponent. I like both of those fights for him, but neither one of those fights is going to be easy, and he could lose both of those fights. He could lose to Kell Brook, and he could very easily lose Mikey Garcia because
And the only way he loses is mentally. Again, if he does not, if and when you make a statement out in public, that means you've been dealing with these demons for a minute. They've been flowing around your head. They've been flowing around your camp. They've been flowing around your life about your lack of commitment. And I'm sure Coach Dan Birmingham really, he treats Keith lovingly, but I'm sure he doesn't pull punches when it's just the two of them really sitting down and game planning. And at this point, with Keith's age, Keith is going to have to make that complete commitment to turning this around. It can be turned around. Can he learn new skills? Yes, he can learn skills that can equate the skills that he already has with the age that he is, with the level of conditioning that he gets in. He can utilize that to his advantage, but he's going to have to get in supreme condition again. And he may have to, you're not going to try to teach an old dog a whole bunch of new tricks, but just a skill here, a skill there, a new way to throw a hook, a new way to step into a jab, new angle. Little things you think he would know automatically. No, that's why he has a coach. That's why he has a manager, a trainer rather. They're going to have to, if he's starting to feel like this, they may have to go at it a different way. But Keith was such a supreme talent that just getting him back in shape and getting him mentally focused, I think he would still be able to beat most of the guys at the top of 154. No, 147 rather. 147.
Yeah, Keith is a friend of the show, and he's a guy that we speak to, regularly during, when the fight dates and stuff arrive. Man, look, it's hard to turn that switch. And when that switch has been off for as long as it sounds like it's been off, and then he also mentioned depression.
There you go.
All these things could be real, but what happens in this case is the business of boxing is not going to forgive you for those things. He's already saying he wants to take a tune-up fight. You're in the prime of your career. How many tune-up fights are you going to take? Right now, I'm not saying he doesn't need it. Clearly, he does, but you can't fight twice a year in one fight be a tune-up fight every year. That's just not in it, because then when you get into the fights with the big dogs, it's like, where are you stepping up? Where's the improvement? Where's the keep that you projected on us that we're going to see? I just don't know if that guy's still there. I would like to think that he is. We don't know. We got to see. We pulling for him. We definitely pulling for him. So we'll see. But yeah, you got to keep that weight down, champ. Got to keep that weight down.
Yeah, and again, I don't see anything wrong with what he's doing. I wouldn't put my business all out there like that. But he may have to pivot. Depression is real. So if he was dealing with that, and he's been able to deal with that, and look, if you need a tune-up fight, grab a tune-up fight. But then when you get in the thick of it, you don't have that opportunity anymore. Now you got to go after these fights and keep going after these fights. So, oh wow. Yeah, the Badger did mention lack of discipline. And even Keith said his lack of discipline and commitment when he talks about his weight. It's a tough situation. Let's back up from the fighter perspective for a moment. Let's talk about the human perspective with this, because of some of the elements he put out there. When you have bouts of depression, you usually go to somewhere that you've normally been able to stay away from. And a lot of times it's food, it could be substances like drugs or alcohol, it could be sex, it could be, physical harm to yourself. Most people don't think of depression.
Wait, did you say sex? Wait, what? Sex can be depression. What? What'd you say?
No, I said when depression hits you, you can turn to vices and things for an outlet. And it could be sex. Like a married man or woman could turn to sex outside the marriage to fulfill a void that they perceive is there. But it's truly depression.
Oh, no, my bad, bro. I thought you meant if you're depressed, then you should have lots of sex. I would have agreed with that statement, but that's not the point you're making, so I apologize. Go ahead, continue, my friend.
I had to stop and say a prayer for my friend over there. Yeah, it's one of those things that
evil is good.
Some people
evil is good.
when that lightning hit your
I'm just saying that's what Reverend Purdy said.
Yeah, I
Reverend Purdy
understand.
said, yeah, I'm
Yes,
just
he
saying.
did.
All right,
Yes, he
go ahead.
did. So people can use food in the same notion. They can use food to fill a void that they perceive is there. I've seen it in family members. I've dealt with it with myself with different things and vices, and it's real. It's not something that just goes away. You really have to tackle it and deal with it, face it head on, and sometimes you have to seek out help to deal with that. So when a fighter at his caliber says that, it's letting me know that this man is dealing with real human elements that he had no control over. So to
And
come,
that's and I'm in agreement with you, bro. That's cool. And he also got married. You got to think about that part of it too.
ooh,
Like he has a wife, and that consumes. That's you. She's a part of you, and you're a part of her. So you have to take all that stuff into consideration. People made a big deal about it when he got married. I didn't think it was matter as much, but maybe it really does, man.
it matters because if you're truly married, if you're not, if it's not a business arrangement, or again, maybe because you like the way the other person is in bed. If it's truly a marriage, then you're trying to comply with that person, and you're trying to make them as comfortable as possible. And a lot of times you lose yourself. You lose yourself trying to make somebody else happy when the reality is that you cannot make anybody happy. You can do your best to make them comfortable, to give them what you think they need, but happiness comes from within. It's an emotion. You can never make anybody else happy. So
That is a fact.
sometimes we lose ourselves in that, and by the time we catch ourselves, it's too late. Hopefully he caught himself before it got too late, and that can make you depressed when you feel like, why did I marry this person? I'm doing everything I feel like I need to do for this person, and it's not working. And so it can mess with you a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, you should know with your three wives.
first of all, you gotta relax.
Hmm? What?
And second of all, you gonna just put business out there in front of the whole world, bro.
Oh, my bad. At least I only
No,
talked about
see
three of
that
them.
ain't the kind of friend you is. See what I'm talking about? Now you just said, "Oh, how people battle with these different things," and you just threw mine out there. How you know that ain't my vice? How you know having multiple wives may not be something that is one thing I can't shake?
Hold up. Miss Karen put a comment out there that I would have expected from you.
Why you gotta be? It's cause well, yeah, some people live to eat. That would be most of us. But you got some people that they eat to live. I mean, we eat to live. You got some people that live to eat. There's a difference. People that live to eat, they eat all kind of stuff all the time. And look, I'm okay with you eating whatever you want. It doesn't affect me what you eat. So knock yourself out.
It will if they're laying on top of you.
First of all, Jesus, man, no.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
What do you mean they laying on top of me,
I'm just saying,
bro? You gotta
if
relax.
somebody gets up to around 450 pounds,
I think
when
I
you
have a
met
good
them, you
eye
met
for
them, they were
talent.
135.
And by the time they got light heavyweight, I had already vacated the belt. I'm gone. Like I'm not sticking around for super heavyweight. Once you crack light heavyweight, it's a wrap. You 175? Okay. Well, look, that means that you're almost a threat to me at this point.
You
We don't need to
you
be
see,
doing this.
you
We
see,
good.
you see what you're dealing with, Miss Carey. You see what you're dealing with, with this guy.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, I don't need nobody that's gonna be a threat to me. You know,
It's not a threat to you. I saw a woman on Instagram with a T-shirt on that said, "Big girls, it's okay to get on top. If he dies, he dies." I was like,
I
"Oh
saw
my
that. That was so
gosh."
mean. That was so mean. Now, good thing about it is none of that applies to me. But and if it did, just say something nice to me at my funeral.
I will. Boy, he
I
went
would
out kicking
prefer
and screaming, but we couldn't hear nothing.
I would prefer it to end the way that Mister's ended on The Color Purple when she asked how he died and she said on top of me. I would rather go out that way than a 455 50-pound person laying on top of me. That would not be something I want to participate in, I don't think.
Let me tell you, I wish I could find. It would take me too long to find the article, but in Spokane, Washington, this was News of the Weird. Oh man, about 11 years ago. Um, this woman, her husband wanted her to tie him up. She said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Yes. So she said, "Okay, well tonight I'm gonna tie you up." Well, that night she tied him up to the bed, tied his hands to the headboard, tied his feet to the post, and then she left the room. And she had this woman who had to be, if I'm not mistaken, her weight was a little over 500 pounds. And the woman had put a stool next to the bed. And she was a professional face sitter.
This is why we don't like that. See, this is
This
why
is,
right
listen,
now.
listen. And the wife said she started feeling bad when she kept hearing him say, she came in and the guy had stopped moving. And the woman was actually really into it. And she's like, oh, he is great. And the wife was like, I think he's gone. And he did. He couldn't breathe. He asphyxiated. I've seen a couple stories like that. I saw one where the woman she had such an extensive, pleasurable moment that she passed out on top of him. When she woke up, he was dead. That was down here in Florida. That happened.
First of all, bro, I don't know where you're pulling this up from,
News of the weird and creative
but
roofing.
yeah, I see you have too much time on your hands. Yeah, if first of all, 500, she was not able to sit on his face. She would have probably crushed him if she
No,
tried. So I'm trying to figure.
she did. She actually sat. She didn't drop straight down, but she
Bro,
did. She popped on his face and he couldn't breathe. He got lost.
I mean,
As the
wow, that
art,
had to
as
be
the,
a hell of a way to go.
as the
Could you
article
imagine
said,
all the smells in there?
as the
Like
article
all those
said,
extra creases and loafs that in crevices that don't get cleaned properly.
the article said he was engulfed by her. Yes, Miss Karen, he did go too far.
I wonder if his
That
head
was
was wet when they
TMI.
pulled him out.
Which one?
Well, the only one that was there, the one above his shoulders, it wasn't another
Oh,
one.
you wonder if his head was wet. You can't say nothing about me and what I say. That was
Hey
just
man,
crude.
why
That was
is
crude.
the Eric Lubin Terrell Gausha fight being overshadowed by the Charlo brothers fight next weekend because it's pay per view? They're trying to get them views up, but man, are they sleeping on the winner of the Lubin Gausha fight?
Well, you have a lot of people picking Lubin like by a landslide, man.
Is that so?
Yeah. Sugar. Let me see if I can find that article. I was looking at one online this evening, and it was man, guy was. I mean, he said it was gonna be. It was. I saw like 3 different write ups, and they were all picking Lubin. None of them said it would be close. None of them.
Yo, here's the thing, man. And I know we're gonna spend more time talking about this tomorrow on the Fighter Share at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. On the Beatdown Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I will say this, without giving too much away: styles make fights.
Yeah.
Um, the last time we saw Terrell Gausha, he was in a dogfight with Austin Trout, and I thought he did enough to win that fight. But I also thought he let Austin hang around and do some veteran things that allowed him to make the fight closer than what it was. And anytime it goes to the judge's hands, anything can happen, right?
Right.
Uh, but the one thing I think that most people would say would be Lubin's issue is if he's in there with a puncher, and that's only because we've seen him get knocked out by Jamel Charlo in the first round, and we see him get dropped by I can't think of the name of the guy he fought about 5 years ago in Pennsylvania. This is when he was still coming up as a prospect. He got dropped. I mean, he got up and convinced to beating the brakes off the dude, but he still got dropped. So people might view Lubin Shin as being a little bit suspect. I don't know how they say that, but whatever. So I think with Terrell not exhibiting any real threat as far as punching power, I think that it'll just be a boxing chess match initially, and then Lubin. I mean, I feel like Lubin's the most physically talented guy at 154, so it's only a matter of time, right?
Right.
And that might be why everybody's leaning towards him. But I'll tell you what, you can't discount Terrell. He's an Olympian. He's a grown, he's 33, 31 or 33 years old. So he's been around. He's been waiting his whole life for these opportunities. I mean, he had the Lara fight. That didn't end well for him, but this is his second chance to get back into it. So we're just trying to see what he's going to do. But I'm expecting a good fight, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah,
I really
and people are they're really in on how this Jamel Charlo Jason Rosario fight, which I think we all are, because we know that Jamel is in there with someone that can punch just as hard as him, and we know that Jamel is usually the hunter, right?
Yes.
He's usually the guy that comes out and kind of sets the tone, and the guys that are in there with him usually just try to box. They don't really try to bang with him too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be the case in this fight. Now, I don't recommend Rosario standing there and just exchanging blindly.
No.
I don't want Charlo to do the same thing either. He can't approach Rosario like he did Tony Harrison, and he won't because they're not the same fighter. And I'm sure him and Derrick James have a great game plan. But Rosario has heavy hands. He is a threat. Now, I expect Jamel to be more athletic. I expect Jamel to move and punch at 8 different angles. But, hey, whenever you're there with a puncher, there's always a chance you get clipped, and that's all it takes.
What I think, really, way to bring Brew back in, Badger. What I really think is, in this situation, I think Rosario's best shot is to punch Charlo in the mouth early.
Yeah.
No. What I mean is he'll get him off his game plan, and he might get him in that mano-a-mano chess match.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we would like to think that Jamel seems to be a little bit explosive, but I tell you what, in fights, he normally stays pretty composed. All that explosive stuff that we see outside of the ring, I don't know necessarily carries over into the ring.
Right.
This is the wrong fight to figure it out. I know that.
Yeah. Yes, if anybody's wondering, just DM me at GotBrew on Instagram.
Wow,
with
bro,
your silent,
really?
with your silent auction amount.
Come on, man. You got to relax, dude.
It's a date, bro. It's a date.
I am emotionally unavailable.
They don't care. They don't care.
I'm still trying to figure out what kind of friend you are, bro. First, you want to get me in there with Amanda Nunes.
A true friend.
And you tell me you was trying to auction me off. I have stranger danger, bro. This is not going well.
I was trying to help keep you away from Mike Tyson, even when you said you wanted Mike Tyson.
Man, I already told you what the lick read on that, man. Stop playing with me, man.
You're going to be messed up if Mike actually accepts your challenge.
Man, listen, put the gi on, Mike, and let's run it.
You say that, but you ain't going to know what to do. You're going to be looking around talking about, is this really happening, bro? I'm paying myself right now.
I am going to leg lock the shit out of Mike.
Okay, you get to his legs. Let's right get punched in the back of the head. Mike forget that
he can't. And if he do, then we just gonna get that purse and we gonna go on about our business.
You might
and
not
we gonna go.
You might not be able to function after that. But
and we going viral because Mike Tyson cheated.
That's fine.
And this ain't the first time.
No,
so.
And it might not be the last. And he'll apologize. You know, the thing happened. I was in a situation. I really didn't know what's going on. Next thing I know, he was coming after my leg. And I'm thinking he's gonna bite my leg like I bit the ear. So I just punched him in the back of the head. I didn't know what was going on.
That's the thing. Bro. It could be.
Listen.
I don't know. But anyway, man, moving right along before we get up against it too much. Hey, so Breonna Taylor, $12 million. What the hell is going on, man?
I think I heard there are multiple lawsuits on her behalf.
So this is the problem I have with this story.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to arrest the police.
Nope.
Now it's coming out, and I don't want to sound ignorant because I haven't been paying attention. So if anybody out there that knows the details to the story, please correct me. But now it's coming out that her boyfriend shot first, and that he shot first, which in turn the officers returned fire, and that's when she was hit.
So why is this coming out now?
Because they're trying to cover it up, and because they're trying to do everything they can to not persecute these cops.
Right. They need to
prosecute them.
They
Breonna Taylor, they already did the smear campaign, right? He's a felon, or he had been locked up for drug dealing or trafficking or whatever. So apparently Breonna Taylor had rented a car for him to kill a rival drug dealer like a couple of years before he got out of prison. All this crap that means nothing, because at the end of the day, a no-knock search warrant should be illegal. That should not be allowed to happen. With all the technology and intel we got today, there should be no reason why you just get to burst in someone's house.
Right.
Period.
Right. Secondly,
if he shot first, he's well in his right to protect his domicile. I don't give a damn who he is and what he's done in the past. If you enter my home, right? If you enter my home unannounced, I can protect my domicile.
Right.
And as a police You don't get the right to just blindly return fire. Just like in a hostage situation, right? You don't just go into there and just start shooting and kill everybody. No, your job is to negotiate, to try to figure out a way to get as many people out as you can.
Mm-hmm.
This woman was killed in cold blood and it was innocent. She was innocent. She was in the bed sleeping. And her boyfriend did what any law-abiding, Second Amendment supporting citizen would do.
He did what any man
in
would
this
have done in that
right
situation.
and protect this home. So for them to try to create all these things now are ridiculous, bro, and it's sick.
Here's the thing.
But here's the thing. Before you go, I'm gonna let you speak. $12 million, if that is the number, it doesn't change anything.
It's
Guess
sad.
who pays that?
The taxpayers.
The taxpayers.
And it's sad because Aaron Andrews got $50 million
for a
somebody
man looking at
her naked.
Right. But
50.
those white tears we talking about, man.
Yeah,
Those white tears, man. We need to get a jar of them. I'm sure they sell them on Google.
She got 50. The Central Park 5 got 40, I think, total. So they got 8 apiece.
Wow.
And
Aaron Andrews, listen, and Aaron Andrews did that, bro, by the way. Is she still employed by Fox or ESPN?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, she is.
Yeah. Bro, I remember she went on Oprah, Dr. Phil. It was a big thing. I'm like, bro, like he saw your titties. And I'm not taking that light. I'm not saying she should be okay with it, but I think $50 million is a lot of money to just see some boobs.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't pay that. I mean, it's ridiculous. When you look at a white woman's breast, a white man looked at a white woman's breast, they have to pay $50 million. You take the life of a young lady who's asleep
who's a civil service worker.
Who with an illegal storming in her apartment. You may the taxpayers may have to pay $12 million. But again, you exonerate the people who did it. Right, Jennifer Porter? We haven't forgotten you, Jennifer Porter.
Wow.
They paid what, $96,000, and she got away with murdering two
children
and dragging 2 other ones.
Yeah.
Going home and washing the blood off of her vehicle.
Her dad helped her.
Right. Harry Cohen defended her. The police chief at the time just gave in. So, yeah, she was never arrested. They never even came out to the house. So, this is nothing new, but it's disgusting. And what's going to end up happening is, one of these days, you're not going to be able to protect these cops that did this to her. And they're going to pay for a life with a life. Am I calling for it? No. But I'm telling you it's going to happen. Because people are getting sick of this.
Yeah.
They're getting sick of it. And marching is doing nothing. Kneeling is doing nothing. So you know what? If I take your heart out your chest, eventually you'll take notice of what you're doing to me.
When you said that, bro, I just had a flashback of Magua. You know who Magua is? Have you ever seen Last of the Mohicans?
Yes.
Remember when Magua got on top of General Monroe? And he cut his heart out. And he told him, before I put you under the knife, I want to let you know that your seed will be extinguished from this earth forever. Magua is going to eat your heart. Yes. And after that, I'm going to kill your seeds. Bro, that is some powerful shit. And I just thought about that when you said it, because I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, bro. Like, this is where it stops. And not only is it going to stop, it's going to stop with your bloodline.
Right.
That's deep. Anyway, so yeah, last thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Last thing, man. What do you think about the LAPD, man? What do you think about them challenging LeBron James to help them match the funds to find the guy or the person that assaulted and tried to kill those 2 cops in LA?
If I'm LeBron James, what I do is I go on TV and I say, you know what? I would be glad to match your funds if your president also matches them from his personal account.
I'm not following you on that one.
Listen, the person who's crying the loudest about, these people protesting and demonstrating, it's not American to protest the police. Okay, you're so much for the police, Trumpy. Why don't you? If I'm LeBron, I start asking these people, Why don't you all match my donation? Let's get this thing to $1 million. Let's get Trump. Let's get Pence. Let's get Graham. Let's get all these civil servants who are making money off the broken backs of Americans. Let's get them to donate as well. Let's pool our money. You're calling me out because you look at all the things LeBron James has been doing in his life, sending 1,000 students to college, going and paying for funerals, and just helping people that you never even hear about. And he's been doing it. It's not like he just started doing it. So you're calling him out to make a mockery of his stance. That's what you're doing. So my thing is, if I'm LeBron, unless I ignore it totally, I'm going to call y'all out. Make a mockery of your stance. All right, police chief, how much do you make a year? All right, mayor, how much do you make a year? All right, governor, since these are your these are your police officers, I will chip in. I will match it, but why don't y'all match with me? Why wouldn't he? If he did that, one of two things are gonna happen. Either one, they're not gonna do it. Well, it's a nice gesture, but da 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 da. Or two, they do it and they make him look even better because he's been able to rally people across the aisle, as they say.
Yeah, that's solid, man. But the last point I wanted to make in reference to that was the hypocrisy in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Crime for crime, it was the same thing. Breonna Taylor was asleep. These men attempted to come in our house. These cops were sitting down just doing their job, mind their own business. This dude just walks up and tries to pop him.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is we know who shot Breonna Taylor, and when they're going to walk free, and it's going to cost us, or I'm sorry, the citizens of Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who this person was that tried to kill these cops, but you're issuing $100,000 reward for him, and you want LeBron James to help you match it. Well, you do know that when LeBron decided to sign with the Lakers and wear that gold and purple, he was told, and he was brought into the fold by one Kobe Bean Bryant and said that he was not family. Well, when the sheriff made that tweet, family showed up. Vanessa Bryant tweeted about how irresponsible, violent, corrupt the LAPD, the LA Sheriff's Department is, and referenced the fact that they released photos of her husband and her baby from the crime scene. That was the LAPD. That was not LAPD. That was LASD, LA County Sheriff's Department, that released those pictures of Kobe Bryant's corpse, of him and his baby, and the other people in that died in that plane crash. So we're gonna apply the moral compass. You want the people to rally around you to help find a person that tried to shoot at you. But what happened to the cop or the cops that took pictures of these people that had died in this horrific accident and put them out online for their own whatever reasons? Because I don't know if they made any money off of it, but just for whatever reason they did that. But you expect people to give you sympathy? Like, I don't understand how this works. Oh wow, there you go, Karen. Okay.
Listen, and I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. You're right. It is. This country is one big hypocrisy. Listen, when you don't look at people as fully human, you can degrade them and denounce them time after time after time. But when they rise up and they show that they can do the same atrocities that you do, but on a smaller level, when they make you understand that you bleed too and you can die by the same bullets that you allow in this country to make money from illegally, then now you want to call to the hills for the help. You want to put people on blast. I'm glad Vanessa Bryant did what she did. I'm glad she had the courage to do that, because that takes a lot of courage.
Indeed, man.
But the audacity of the sheriff to come out at all and say that. Why would you pick LeBron? Why didn't you pick Jared Goff? He's a quarterback in LA. He's got all kinds of money. Why didn't you pick Sean McVay? Why didn't you pick Clayton Kershaw, pitcher for the Dodgers?
Wow.
Why did you single in on LeBron James?
Yeah, well, you know why they did it, bro.
Oh,
But
I know. It's no. That's a rhetorical question.
yeah.
Look, I was gonna end off on a funny note. Now I'm ticked off.
Oh no, by all means, brother. Let's do it 180, man. Let's get him. Let's give him a laugh before we get up out of here, man. What we got?
Man. Um. All right. Well, Cleavon and Tracy, young couple.
Wait, who?
Cleavon and Tracy, a young
I'm so
couple
tired. I'm so tired of you, bro.
in Decatur. Um,
Decatur
Cleavon,
wears greater.
Decatur where's greater, exactly. Um, whatever. Cleavon gave Tracy a hard time all the time because Tracy had like double A's. So Cleavon would always reference that. Look at you with the itty bitties. Go on with your itty bitties. Don't stop over here with your itty bitties. What you gonna do with them itty bitties? So Tracy just happened to be going down the street and somebody was having a yard sale, meaning they were getting evicted. And she saw this pretty mirror. And she was like, wow, that looks like a special mirror. And the woman of the house says it is a very special mirror. It can do or enhance whatever you want. So she said, really? The woman says, yes. Take it in good health. So Tracy takes the mirror and runs back down, puts it in the house up in the bedroom, stands in front of it, and she says, hangs it on the door, and she says, mirror, mirror on the door, give me a triple D 44. Blam! Tracy, it just exploded. She ran down and said, Cleavon, look at these. Cleavon had to jump up and grab them to make sure they were real. He was like, oh my goodness, where'd you get these from and do you have to take them back? She says, no, I got them from the mirror upstairs. So Cleavon took him a while to put them down, but he ran upstairs, he dropped his drawers and he said, mirror, mirror on the door, make my Johnson touch the floor. Next thing you know, his legs were cut off. So,
Aha. Aha. Where's the spoon? Aha.
that was the best. When I saw that, oh my gosh, I'm glad I couldn't get up till that movie was completely over.
That was pretty good, bro.
I appreciate that.
Much better than the muff diving field that you had yesterday. I must admit, bro.
Listen, you were part of that as well, so don't try to blame that on
I'm
me.
just saying, you started it.
No, you took it to the next level. Miss Karen, I'm glad you missed that one. Oh, thank you. Oh, Dad approved, of course. Thanks, Dad. Oh, Miss Karen said, what? What? Miss Karen, I have to tell those type of jokes so the Badger won't laugh. He likes the crude ones.
Don't listen to that. I am the voice of reason on this show. Tune in more, Miss Karen. You'll see that.
She said, voice of reason. Oh, Lord. If you ever seen the movie called As Good as It Gets, and they say, and never mind, because she's going to take it the wrong way. But they talk about removing reason and accountability. That's my partner over here. Ain't no reason and accountability. None. Hey, shout out to Pops. Shout out to the beautiful Miss Karen. Shout out to my wife, my wonderful daughter who's learning how to use a scooter right now.
Hey, she on the scooter. I like that. That's what's up. Okay.
We're getting ready to take them training wheels off the bicycle, but somebody gave her a scooter and she forgot all about the bicycle.
Damn.
So she making waves. She look news like skates, got the legs swinging out behind her. I'm like, girl, you better put that leg on that scooter. So, shout out to my mom. Listen, it's a tough one, but for some reason she's on my heart. Shout out to Miss Plachetta, because you do watch it sometimes. I don't know if you'll see this on the replay, but it's on my heart to give you a shout out. So shout out to you. Even though I never get invited to any gatherings or parties, but that's okay. I understand that. I understand it. But yeah, you still in my heart. So shout out to you. Shout out to the Badger over here. And listen, he deserves a congratulations. Congratulations, bro, on becoming a father again. Appreciate you. And don't forget to turn in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the Beatdown. I mean, for the Fighter Share report. Go ahead, bro. It's all on you.
I mean, you're such a terrible friend.
No foul.
Yeah, man. Listen, shouts out to everybody for tuning in with us. Miss Karen, Pops, and everybody else that tuned in, all the Fighter Share Nation. Shouts out to everybody that's just trying to get it, man. Entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? We don't give up. Success is right around the corner. Keep your foot on their necks. Mental health is real. Tap in with your people. Tap in with Keith Thurman. Y'all check on Keith. Make sure he's all right, man. We got to help get the champ get through this, get him back on the winning track so Florida can have something to stand on. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. You know what showed up in my mailbox yesterday? Take a wild guess. And it wasn't a dead animal. Take a wild guess.
I have a check.
Yes, a stimulus check.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I filed my taxes late. They got in late. And I figured, well, I missed it. Well, this showed up. So it's already going to bills, but it showed up.
Hey, it's on time. That was money that was unaccounted for. Now you got it.
Right. And if y'all can see, the lights are still on. So, hey, my bad. Go back, dog. Sorry.
No, it's all good, man. We can clearly see that by the light shining off your head. Listen, be ready, man. This is the beginning of a great fight week. We got Lubin Goucher on Showtime. We got Tyrone and Kobe in MMA and the UFC.
Yes.
And then next week we got more fights. This is gonna be great. Shouts out for everybody that's rocking with us, man. Again, mental health checking with your people. Like I said, just make sure everybody's all right. Check in with Keith Thurman. We need to get the champ back on the right track. Fighters Nation, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We out here. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Fighters Share Report. And we back on this program Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. We out of here. Peace.